this is Jennifer again. I wanted to talk about a common question that a person would ask themselves if they were in a relationship with a covert narcissist. And one of the questions is, why am I so confused? And this question will probably become more prevalent in your mind as time continues, the longer you are with this person. Another question is probably something like, what the hell is wrong with me? These are a couple of questions that I looked for myself and that I Googled, unfortunately. So, first of all, that the fact that you're asking these questions, I think that's concerning in itself, because there's absolutely no reason to be that confused to the extent that you are researching it on the internet in a relationship. If you think about it, that right there is a huge sign. And it was a big sign to me, as I see now. However, the good news is that nothing is wrong with you. You are perfectly normal. You are that way because an extensive state of gaslighting done to you by the narcissist, who you probably think is just a great person, man or woman, it doesn't matter. But what they have done to you is an extensive form of gaslighting, which is multiple forms of just manipulations. They could be subtle, large, things that they're saying, belittling, comments, anything to make you doubt your reality, your perception, your own memory, until at some point what happens is that you become codependent on this person who's actually doing this to you, and you kind of depend on them to basically tell you what is right and what is wrong. And it's hard to see this because it comes subtly often, and it's over an extended amount of time, and it's very hard to see when you are in this situation because you're so involved in it. So first of all, let's just address the fact that this is what is going on if you are asking this question. If you are in the midst of finding out, or if you think you might be in a relationship with a covert narcissist, what I would implore you to do is, from this point on, take account all the information, all the things that have been taking place. If a comment is said, or if he says something, or your person, man or woman, says something that does not seem right to you, or you just know that it's off, but normally you would probably accept it and be like, okay, I guess you're right, okay. During those times, I would say write it down. I wish that I would have had even a calendar at that time to write down things that have happened or been said, and to actually looked back and seriously thought of every statement that was made that confused the hell out of me, instead of taking his word for it. Because, I mean, as confused as I was on a consistent basis, you would think that I would, at least try to figure out what the hell he was talking about. So I really think that documenting, journaling, whatever, I think that is very important. There was a point when I thought, like, my memory was gone. I did not trust myself. So I think that writing stuff down, especially anything that I thought was inconsistent, or at least if I was not aware of that, to have, if something seemed illogical, just write it down. Anytime I just had that feeling, like, that doesn't seem right. Anytime that happened, just to write it down, like, what happened? Because there are so many things that during those confused moments where I said, I guess, because I trusted someone to tell me the truth, that when I look back on it, after all is said and done, and after I'm out of this relationship, if I would have looked back on it and thought about it, the things he had said, I would have known that they were false and there was actually no truth to these things. On the other hand, there could be a tiny bit of truth and you're just giving them a benefit of the doubt, or they're just outright lying, which is common. And with me, this happened in many ways, and it started off small and then just turned into a situation where I lost everything financially, and But the small things in the beginning, the things that I questioned but didn't say anything and just took his word for, it kind of started it because he pushed his boundaries with me and I allowed him to overstep them. And then he just continued growing with these things and the gaslighting and the convincing and the conniving. It just grew and grew until I just did not know what the hell was going on. And this started with like little things like, you know, like housework, I guess. He would claim that he did as much housework and he did it really. And I wasn't a housewife or anything, but I'm the one who did it all. And he would tell me that he did laundry. He cleans the house. He does the dishes. He does equal amount of work as me, you know, and he works hard too to keep the place up. And you know, and during those times I'd be like, the dishes. Well, I saw him put a couple away. So okay, like this. I don't want to badger him about this. You know, this is the way I'm thinking. So this whole time he would claim that he had done this and he got away with it up until the end, but really the answer is he didn't, because if I had written this down and at that time and the many times he said this, and this is very small, but I would have realized that he doesn't do dishes. He's claiming all these things that just aren't true, but he would add a few, like, you know, a cup and a bowl and a spoon. He would add it, but I'm like, I had already done it. They're already in there. I already cleaned up everything. It took me an hour. And he just added a few, right? And as far as like laundry, I'm like, I do the laundry all the time. And no, he didn't. I mean, basically, what he would do is he would start it. He'd get his own things and put it in the washer and start it, and then he would leave, and I would go back at a later time and finish it and put it away, fold it, and hang it just the way he wanted with the color a certain way. And that's doing the laundry, but he, you know, just put it in. But he took credit for it this whole time because I let him get away with it that first time when I was like, because I didn't want to badger or nag him. And that's a small way how it kind of snowballs into huge things. But even the basic things were, there was a point when for a long time when I started feeling the way I was, the confusion, just I was so upset all the time. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was very unhappy. Something was off all the time. I wasn't the same. And I didn't know it was him. And I still trusted him. So I would talk to him about it. The person who's doing this to me. And because I thought he'd give me an honest answer. I thought he loved me. And I would, you know, it would go something like this. Like, I don't know. Something's wrong. I don't feel right. Something's wrong. Like, I'm very confused. I'm not happy. Like, I don't get it. Like, and instead of doing something, you know, like, well, trying to talk me through it, whatever, but especially because I did one time say, I apologize if I'm jumping around, but, like, I went to him and I said, I don't feel like you really love me or care about me. Like, do you? Like, and I was very sincere about this because I thought I wanted him to enlighten me, like, in how he loves me, you know, because he said it a lot. He said a lot of things, but I'm like, I didn't feel it ever. And instead of what I think a normal man would do, which is something like, what do you mean? Like, of course I love you. Why would you say that? You know, they might feel a little bit bad and do something nice for you, but this is not the reaction I got. He would immediately get defensive. And mind you, all I pretty much needed is like, no, I love you. Okay, there you go. But he got very defensive, and then it would turn out that I was emotional, too emotional. He doesn't know what's wrong with me. He tries so hard. He does so much. You know, he cares. You know, he shows me that he cares. Like, he buys me presents all the time to cheer me up and does nice things for me. And he doesn't know what else to do. Like, he's doing his best, and I'm asking too much of him. And he feels bad now because I said this, and now it hurts his feelings. So, of course, at that point, I'm like, no, not you, I'm sorry. And I'm apologizing to him. And this is how mostly it ended, any conversations, before I just stopped telling him how I felt. But I would end up apologizing, and he would feel awesome and great, like he did something. But it's horrible that this is how it went every single time. I'm like, why do I feel worse? Just a little stupider, a little crazier. And he was always feeling good after, like, he's there for me because he listened and he tries so hard. But these things, when he would say, it would still confuse me. Like, I'm like, okay, he says he tries and he does so mind the presence. And I've talked about the presence before, but tries so hard. I wish I could have really thought about that one, because that one should not even be confusing. That should be a given. If somebody loves you and they say these things, like, that's the obvious thing that you should know. You're like, I know you do, but I didn't. And I wish he would have told me, like, why do you say that? Because as much as he said he did, there was nothing actually being done that would show this. And the thing is that I took him for his word every time, even though I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And nothing matched, but I took him for his word. And the fact that he said, like, I care about you so much, I will give an example. This is like a triple whammy of defining the true nature of a covert narcissist. This is the fact that they have a grandiose sense of self. Their reputation is very important to them. What they say and what they do do not match, and they don't care about you. They don't love you. They just don't feel that way about you, no matter what you think. But at one point we were at this bar he goes to. It was the only place we ever went. It was not like a fun dancing bar. It was like a bunch of older people. They would play trivia and drink, and I would sit there like bored and I was trying to become an alcoholic, but I was like, maybe I'll be an alcoholic and I won't be so bored. But it didn't work out that way. But on this particular day, I was eating a chicken salad, and my tooth chipped. I felt it, like my tooth. I was like, oh my God, something went wrong. And I reach in my tooth, in my back tooth, and I pull out a small piece from the root of my tooth, and it is throbbing. And this is from a chicken salad. And I'm like, what is in this? But and I showed him, like, oh my God, I'm probably gonna cry in a minute. And he's like, wow. He's like, you're not gonna say anything, are you? Like, because this is his bar. Like, this is his one place. I guess where his best friends are, just bar chums. But he didn't want me to say anything. And okay, this is hurting a lot, but he's like, okay, well, you're gonna be okay, right? You're just, you're not gonna say anything, right? And he was more concerned about his reputation at his bar, not like, wow, are you okay or anything. I'm like, it really hurts though. He's like, well, we'll try to get you some ibuprofen. I'm gonna take you to the dentist tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. And I will admit this, for about 4 months in our relationship, I did not work. And this is the only 4 months in the 15 years I've known him. And I didn't have that much money. I mean, I didn't have bills either, but at the same time, I did not know how much it would cost to go to a dentist. I knew that it was a lot, probably. But so I was like, okay, you're going to take me. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to take you. So of course, like, he doesn't, and I'm waiting, and it's, the days go by. My tooth gets worse, a little bit more falls out, and then it gets infected naturally, and it hurts so freaking bad. I mean, it's so swollen. I look just like Quasimodo. I can't touch it. Like, and I know, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm a baby, but it really hurt. Like, this is the most pain I've ever had. A tooth, yes. But so my whole face looks so extremely puffy, and I'm still waiting for him, and I'd be like, you're going to take me, right? I still didn't want to badger him and be like, take me to the damn doctor, you said you would, which I should have, right? But I felt embarrassed, like, nagging him about it. He'd be like, yeah, I'm going to take you, and then, like, take a nap. And at one point, like, it hurts so bad. I mean, this is like a week and a half of the extreme pain, where it's just, I can't move, I can't eat, I'm just crying. I'm just, like, silently, because it hurt so bad. And finally, I was like, I can't do this, and I just get in the car, and I start driving, and I stop at the first dentist I see, and I just go in there, and I tell him, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, it hurt, and I'm just like, I'm so pathetic. And this dentist, he feels bad for me, and, writes me a prescription and doesn't charge me. What a nice person, right? And then I have to go to 3 different pharmacies to find these prescription or the antibiotics that are in my price range. And then I get home, and I'm like, I did this all on my own. And he doesn't even inquire about it. Like, he doesn't say anything. I'm telling him, like, I went here, I did that, and I got this. And he was knowing my financial situation, or he didn't say, like, wow, I'm sorry, I should have taken you. Like, he didn't acknowledge the fact that, like, he's a douche, and he should have done something. But, like, even, like, oh, let me pay you for that. I was supposed to get that for you. Sorry, I should. But no, he just like, oh, that's good. And that's it. And this is just an example. I'm not trying to just talk mad shit, but this is how much he cared about me. Like, what he had done right there, the nothing, that is the extent. And if I had really looked into my mind or thought about it sincerely in a logical manner, I would have known that this was his way of caring, which is not at all. Okay? So another thing, I guess, how he used to say that the gifts that he always got me, and I talked about this before. I'm like, I was confused as the presents, because he did use this quite frequently, that he buys me so, because he did, I guess. But I'll give you an example. I mean, like, on my birthday one year, the last year that we were together, this is the first year where he was making, like, decent money, like more than $14. And prior to this, like, gifts were like, we're talking like socks and stuff, which, you know, he was poor, and I'm like, that's fine. But I thought, I was so stupid, but I thought, okay, he's finally making money. He's gonna get me something nice this year. And I was excited, like, foolishly. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. He finally got a good job, and he buys himself nice things all the time. So I'm like, okay, this one time I'm gonna get something nice. And for my birthday, he wakes me up in the morning, you know, after he gets home from work, and he's like, good morning, happy birthday. And I'm like, thank you. And he hands me a bag, and it's a McDonald's bag, first of all, McDonald's. But I'm like, okay, I open it, and there is an apple pie in there. And I thought, oh, okay, all right. I don't like apple pie or pie in general, and he knew that, but he gave it to me like it is a birthday cake or something. But I look in the bag, and in the bottom there's a receipt, and it's like, I'm reading it. It's like, egg McMuffin and orange juice. I'm like, so he had eaten breakfast on his way home. He had scarfed his own food down, and I'm thinking this pie is like a 2-for-1 thing, and basically he couldn't finish it. I mean, he gave me his leftovers, essentially, as my present, but he also hands me this little box, and I'm like, oh my God, it's jewelry, finally. And I'm not like, money grubbing, like, I need jewelry, but I thought, you know, after so many years with a person, you think, like, one nice, you know, I don't really wear jewelry, but I thought it just kind of the sentiment, you know, like, and I was excited. I'm like, it's a little box. I'm like, it's jewelry. And I've gotten him a ton of jewelry, and like silver, like pocket watch engraved. Like, I've spent a lot on him, so I thought this one time, and I open it, and I'm like, it's a necklace, I guess. He calls it jewelry, but anything that's wrapped in plastic, I can't categorize as a jewelry thing. And he would say, like, I never got a girl jewelry before. I'm like, you still haven't got a girl jewelry. But so this is, like, what do you think is so amazing about him? Like, his grand gifts, which were basically quarter machine crap to begin with. And even then, like, I was nice about it. I'm like, oh, and I just pretended. I'm like, thank you. I was hurt more than anything. I'm like, my God, it's still in the plastic bag. But I thought, I never said anything. I was just like, okay. I mean, I should have been like, what the hell, McDonald's? My God, like, what's wrong with you? But I was always nice about it. So I'm just saying, this is the extent of him caring about his examples, which is less than what I think is acceptable to begin with. And I should have researched it at that time instead of, like, letting these things go. And it's not about the presents, and it's not about, you know, taking me to the doctor, but it's the fact that he used these things that he had not done at all against me for so long and effectively. And I just urge you, if this happens to you, if you find yourself in this situation, to document it, because it is very important that you validate yourself. You need to find validation in some, you know, and I did that. I validated myself through the dictionary and internet, and oh yes, I'm right about basic things that I know that I'm right about that requires no research. So please look it up and write it down, whatever you need to, even if you need to record yourself. Anything that you find off, like, that means something, and it's very important. And the more you start letting that go, the more you're going to lose yourself, until one day you're going to wake up and be like, who the hell am I? Like, I have no idea who I am anymore, because your identity will have been stolen from you. Okay, thank you.